I was actually happy to talk to you today because I didn't get to do therapy today because I would be with you, but it's kind of the same thing. And I was talking to him and I said, sometimes it scares me that I'm too tough. And I feel like I'm not jaded and I'm not cold, but I feel too tough. And he goes, well, I'm proud of that because life is tough. And it's not to get hard.
Well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by you feel like you don't like that you're too tough?
I feel that I worry sometimes that I can get over things easily. I don't fall to the floor and crawl up in a ball the way that I used to. And I think that's a part of me growing up. Like when, I recently just went through a very public divorce that fucking sucked. What really sucked about it wasn't the fact that me and someone that I loved realized that we don't love each other the way that we used to anymore. That's okay. I can accept that. I can't accept the villainizing and the just all those stories that it's just amazing to me that the public kind of thinks that there's no gap of time that they didn't see that could possibly be what led to this. Like, it's not one day you were happy on the carpet and the next day you were making out with your friend in Italy. What the fuck? Well, there was a lot of time in between that you didn't see. It didn't go. Yeah. I didn't. You
didn't always have a heavy voice, though. Like when my kids love Hannah Montana, by the way.
Yeah.
So when I would watch, your voice was different.
It's definitely changed. I kind of learned a lot about the voice and how our experiences affect our voice. I had a surgery in November on my voice. I had something called Reiki's edema, which when my doctor told me about it, he said, no one shy ever has this. This is for abuse of the voice. This is for people that talk way too fucking much. And usually this happens when you're like in your 60s or 70s.
How do I not have that?
I don't know. Mine, I think, honestly, really, I started touring, at probably 12 or 13. And not only was the adrenaline that you have after a show, it's not really the singing that affects your voice as much. It's afterwards, you're totally on. And then it's really hard to get that sleep. You stay up talking all night. Later, the talking all night turned into smoking all night. And now this is kind of where we're at. We got some dirt on her.
But it had to be really odd to be working that much and be a young girl.
The balance it trained me to have is something that I don't think you are going to get taught any other way besides jumping in the deep end of the pool and hoping you know how to swim. That's the only way. There was no way I could have prepared for the amount of balance I would have to learn to kind of teeter because, at one point, again, it went from, it was school, then it went from, how much weed can I actually smoke and still play a teenage superstar on the Disney Channel? and then
what's the answer to that question?
More than you would fucking think. I remember one time and I don't smoke anymore, and I'm sober.
How long have you been sober
but
for?
I've been sober since pretty much the vocal surgery kind of did it for me, because I just learned so much about the effects, which again, you're just not taught. It's not really the drinking, it's staying up all night. Once you have your drink, you end up smoking. And I've become the face of a lot of things kind of against my will, I guess, from my opinions. When you're someone in my position, your opinion becomes your identity. And it also becomes kind of almost like you kind of become this like preacher. You become this, they don't really let you just always have your own opinion. So I've decided to start telling people, I live my own lifestyle. Alcohol was never my problem. There was other things that I end up, I like to go up. So I now just avoid really drinking because I like to wake up at 110%. But it's never really been my problem. And I could see myself having a drink of celebration in the future. But I get so fucking hungover now that I'm like, why would I celebrate with like just feeling like a volcano's erupted in my brain, So it's really just a personal preference, but it's definitely not anything that I promote in. I think it's a lifestyle I think everyone should experiment. It's a good time and you learn a lot of things about yourself and the people around you. But now I'm watching, I have younger siblings and they're going through that, and I don't know how my mom did it with me because it's scary.